novel is called The Murderer's Best Friend. And I'm posting it on Instagram because I needed a way to get some kind of feedback on it. Because if you're a writer, it's really hard to feel a personal connection if you just sit all day, staring at the screen by yourself. So you need to find a way to get, at least I did, find a way to get feedback on it, or at least gratification, some kind of positive reward to motivate yourself to keep going. And I got the idea for Instagram because on Instagram a lot of people will post quotes and poems, and I don't really write poems that much. I write novels. So I thought it would be a good idea to post bit by bit of the novel on Instagram. I started about 16 days ago, and I know the day because I post every day. And I post like chapter 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Right now I'm on 1.16. And yes, it's about like 3 paragraphs every day. And it's working so far. I have 180 followers. So after 16 days. And so hopefully it'll just keep rising. Yeah, my first follower was my best friend, which is great. It's good when you have at least some social circle, and it just keeps growing. And on Instagram, it's actually really good because authors, they want to support each other. Because every author knows that it's really hard to make money being an author. So everyone's willing to support each other. It's not a competition. I don't know about your field, maybe it's a huge competition where everyone's trying to beat each other. I think the writing field is not like that. In fact, there are specific hashtags. For example, hashtag support indie authors, where you follow each other and you like each other's things. And you support each other on Instagram. So that's why I like Instagram. It's sort of a community. Well, I've never tried a unique blog where I create my own website. I do have my own personal website, however not a website for the novel. And I actually did try posting it in a bit of a longer form. I tried it with my first novel as well. I don't know if you know about this website called Wattpad. It's a website where any writer like me can post their original novels or fan fiction. And so I've done that before, and it hasn't gotten many views. Even though I tried it with my first novel and my second novel, rebranding it a million times with different covers. I tried it and it hardly got any views on these long form things that you're talking about. I think because on Wattpad specifically, what does really well is fan fiction, like where everyone knows the story in the world. So my novel has a completely new world, so it didn't work. And I chose Instagram also because I think today's culture it really prioritizes instant gratification. And for me, I've been noticing this a lot for me. Instagram really helps me get instant gratification. I'm not saying that it's good, but to get the likes, it's a great motivator. And I also wanted something that I could do every day to keep myself motivated. Also, I think I heard about people on Instagram who had people who write poems who have started on Instagram, and then they've gotten noticed by publishers from Instagram. And so I took those success stories, and it gave me inspiration. So I haven't seen any novelists like me doing what I'm doing, posting it serially, one bit at a time, like a little bite size at a time. I haven't seen it before, and I've asked my friends and I've never heard of that either. This is a great question, and what I'm going to do if that happens is I'm going to have 2 different versions on my computer. One will be a version for Instagram with the character, and the other one will be the version for publishers, which I'm editing to perfection. Yes, because it's true, if you introduce a character on Instagram, you can't have them completely gone sometime later on Instagram. So that's why I'll have 2 different versions of the novel running. So far, I have not had any troubles with that. There is a name for sure, and there is an Instagram account dedicated for the novel. It's The Murderer's Best Friend. It's a new adult noir. Yeah, recently I've been noticing myself when I engage in negative self-talk.
Oh, right.
If I say I suck, I'll notice it and I'll stop myself and I'll say I'm great instead.
Oh, that's what you were referencing, right?
Yes.
I agree with you. I'm the same way. It's a big deal because our thoughts control reality. They do.
Yes. Yeah, I think a lot of people engage in negative self-thoughts and talk. You always say a bad adjective about yourself. Even when you do something mediocre, you immediately hyperbolize it and you say, I'm the worst.
Yeah.
And instead what you could say is like, I didn't do so well this time. it doesn't mean you're the worst if you made one tiny mistake. It's very easy to just quickly jump to a hyperbole about yourself because it's thoughtless.
Right.
You just instantly can say, like, I suck. It's very easy to think. Whereas it takes a bit more time and mindfulness to say something positive about yourself.
Why do we beat ourselves up so much, though, instinctively?
I think it's a cognitive behavior. It's a thought pattern that maybe someone has criticized us in the past. Like perhaps you grew up with people in your family who always criticized you, and you're gonna ingrain that into your thinking patterns. And you don't even do it consciously. It just becomes part of your thought process. I think part of becoming like an adult is taking responsibility for your own thoughts, and maybe like your past has shaped you into who you are. And I think being an adult is taking responsibility for like changing that. Anything that happened to you, changing. Regardless of what happened to you, you can still control yourself. You can still control your thoughts. Although I have a hard time controlling my thoughts. It's something I work on every day.
Say something amazing.
Well, you can't match blue with everything, but you can match black with everything.
Okay, where are we and what are we doing, Alex?
We're on our way to the sea bus. We're at Waterfront Station on the south side. And the sea bus will come in 10 minutes to take us across the harbor to North Vancouver. We get lots of tourists here. I think tourist season is starting soon. Because it's already March. And tourists love to come to the sea bus. I think it's very unique. You know, not many cities have sea buses, if you stop to think about it. You get to take a boat every single day. I take it often twice a day. That's really unique when you stop to think about it.
Has it gotten old yet, or is it still fresh or cool? Or
The sea bus specifically, I would say it has, you know what? Maybe it's gotten a little more old than it was the first time. However, I still like it a lot more than the regular old bus. I find it's a lot more relaxing.
So you like the water?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, it's rocking, it's nice. It's quiet. You know, the bus can be like really shaky and it can get me car sick. Whereas on the sea bus, you can read a book and you know you're not going to get car sick.
Right.
And you can watch a beautiful sunset as well. Usually, it looks like it's fine today. It's very busy when I use it at 4:30 p.m. And it's very busy at 8 a.m. as well, you know, rush hour. Right now, it's okay. I'm actually shocked. You know, I'm sure it's going to fill up because we still have 7 minutes. You'd be surprised how quickly it fills up in the last 2 minutes. And you're allowed dogs on board.
Really?
Like even big dogs. On the bus you would not be allowed your golden retriever. You better get on because they will close the doors on you if you're too slow.
Okay.
Yeah. They yelled at you before. Get on. I'm just so chill. I don't know. They have a strict schedule.
Of course.
I mean, I don't know anything. I don't work for them, but yeah.
Right.
What I've observed. This is unauthorized. Sorry. Because we do have a DSLR. Oh, look, there's the other one. You see, they come and go both ways at the same time. Well, the only interesting story I have is that if you stare at the waves for a really long time, then it'll create an optical illusion where if you look at the mountains will start to bulge. So that bridge over there, I'm pretty sure that's the ironworkers bridge. beautiful cloud patterns.
Yes, I'm noticing this cloud here is amazing.
I've seen much more amazing, but this is very amazing. Yeah, when it becomes sunset time, you really see the whole horizon on that side.
Oh.
And maybe we could walk over. You see some of the sun starting to set on that corner.
I'll follow you if you want to go. You're right. This is kind of super cool.
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah. It's much better when it's like
Holy cow.
sunset, right? Now just imagine it filled with orange. I've seen it all, honestly. And those two mountain peaks are called the Two Sisters. Yeah, I love them. They're beautiful. And then to the right is Grouse, a popular ski resort. Well, not resort, but you know.
Right.
Well, I try to be the last one out to get away from the rush, because I know at this point I know when my bus is coming and I know it's gonna wait for to get there. So even if I enter last, I'm still gonna make my bus. You'll see a lot of loons here.
A lot of loons.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of them that live near Lonsdale Quay. I think I once saw some kind of otter.
Really?
By Lonsdale Quay, yeah. Maybe it was a minx. Or one of those. I would love to be a loon. It seems like it's having a great time. I love the water. They didn't even bring any food back. Oh, wow, there it goes again. How graceful. It's so interesting how they get the momentum to jump down. Because, you know, when you're swimming in a pool, it can be hard to submerge yourself like that.
Right.
Your body will want to kick back up, so.
For the buoyancy, right.
Yeah, so that's impressive that they can do that. Well, we're at the pier, and this is actually, I'm pretty sure somewhere near here, or maybe right here, there's concerts. I think Kelly Clarkson came once for a private concert.
Really?
Yeah. And sometimes there'll be boats that will dock, like visiting boats. Remember, I think one time one came from Colombia or something.
Wow.
And sometimes you can tour them for a fee. I don't see any today though.
Do you shop much here?
Not much. Sometimes.
Why not?
It's more specialized, so it'll be more pricey.
Right.
Yeah. It's very nice though. It has 2 floors and there's a lot of different things you can buy. Yeah, this is a really nice place if you want to see the sunset.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, you can see the whole skyline of Vancouver if you stand right at the edge. And this is near where I saw the otter.
This is very cool.
Yeah, one Christmas they had a Ferris wheel that they put up for a short amount of time. Right near this area, yeah. Lonsdale is it's poppin'. They have a lot. It's true. Oh, to sum it up, it's about an 18-year-old whose best friend kills a man, and the protagonist has to deal with the guilt and keep the secret. And unbeknownst to the protagonist, her best friend is trying to frame her for the murder. So it's going to be told in 2 parts. First from the innocent and then from the guilty. Yeah, I've been working on it since November. I guess, and I think about it every day, so it's kind of, yeah, it's like an itch. So I really need to get it done, because while I'm writing it, while I'm editing it, it's always on my mind. It's like a task that you have to complete, and it's kind of almost annoying because you want to get it done. So I'm really excited to get it done. The catch-22 is that when you get it done, you immediately have to begin working on the next thing, so the itch begins all over again. So really it's a never-ending cycle. So that's why you can't put too much pressure on yourself, because it'll never end.